Let's welcome in our powerhouse panel on this Friday morning. We've got Republican strategist and attorney Amanda Mackey is with us. She is with us in studio this morning. Amanda, you're right next to me. I feel like we need to show it because we're just showing you awkwardly on camera. There we go. Yay. Yeah, so nice to have you in studio. This is
Thank you.
It's a sign of things to come, you know, as life kind of gets back to normal. The old normal.
I'm so happy to be here and see how all the stuff happens behind the scenes.
Amanda, this is something, isn't it?
It is.
The magic that happens.
You guys make it look seamless at home.
You guys heard that? Yeah. Exactly. We've got the rest of our panel here. Gosh, I could have said that better. Let's welcome in the rest of our panel. Mark Halpern is with us. He is a political analyst, and he's joining us from a room off his living room. It's a smaller room, so he doesn't wake up, spouse, baby, and all of that. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Dynamite stuff, Mark.
Really... I just want everybody to know that if Rachel doesn't name the baby Max, I'll be very disappointed.
You know, it's not a boy.
It's not a boy.
Can we somehow do
Max
that with
can be a girl's name?
Maxine.
Oh, Maxine.
Oh.
You're right. You're right. That's why he's a political analyst. He analyzes. No, Mark, we got that.
We get
part.
it. Yeah. We got
it. Former National Advisory Board member for Project 21, Christopher Arps is joining us. Over his right shoulder, St. Louis Cardinals bathrobe, which he travels with at a hotel at the Westin, Kansas City, my old stomping ground. Chris, what's up with the Cardinals gear? Are you going to you can't be going to a game. You're in KC unless they're there.
I'm not going to a game in KC, but my St. Louis Cardinals are reeling right now. So hopefully if I put that behind me, it'll give them some good luck.
What do they call it there? I forget. I was there years ago. Is the I-70 series?
I-70 series, yes.
That's right.
That's something St. Louisans don't like to be reminded of, Rob. If you remember the famous call at first base in the 6th game when the runner was called safe when he was really out. And then in the 7th game of the World Series, the Cardinals got blown out.
Are we talking about behind the bag,
Bill
Buckner?
Memory. Pardon?
Behind the bag. It gets by Buckner. You know what I'm saying, Mark. Mark, is there a delay?
I do.
All right. All right, let's get right into
delay.
our I want to get into Kamala Harris. This is she is back from her groundbreaking trip to Mexico, not the border, and Guatemala. The Guatemalan president said the problem with the border is a result of poor policy from the Biden administration and open borders, even though Antony Blinken insists the border is closed. A reporter asked Kamala Harris about this and much more yesterday. Take a listen.
I've said I'm going to go to the border. And
when are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border. And also, if we are going to deal with the problems at the border, we have to deal with the problems that cause people to go to the border.
Okay, Mark, to you first. First of all, there is in comms teams, Amanda, I know you're well aware of this. You were a candidate yourself, you're an attorney, but comms teams, we always try to get in front of the candidates and say, listen, there is this thing called likability. And I don't know what it is with Kamala Harris, but this might explain why someone who might be our 47th president, by the way, had to drop out before the primaries in 2019. She literally, there was a poll in California, and Elizabeth Warren polled higher with African-American voters in her own state than Kamala Harris, sitting U.S. Senator at that time. What is this quality that she has? Why does she keep doing this?
Yeah, look, here's what Democrats who like Kamala Harris are saying privately. That the events of this week are not going to keep her from being president, but the things that are revealed by the events of this week are probably what would keep her from ever being president. She's politically cautious. She doesn't like to answer questions that will cause trouble for her. And the way she answers them, ironically, cause trouble for her. So this is not an overstatement by the press in terms of how big a deal what's occurred this week is. She can have a comeback from this. But right now, a lot of Democrats are saying this is not a person who's ever going to have the political skills to get elected president.
Amanda, she's catching it from both sides of the aisle. Do you agree with Mark there? Do you think she can come back from this?
Well, here's the thing. Joe Biden has tasked her with Mission Impossible. I mean, they refuse to go to the border because the media is going to follow. The media is going to have to report on the debacle that it is. Democrat mayors, Democrat congressmen in Texas are saying this is a crisis. We need to do something. And they refuse to go. She would rather go 2,000 miles away to Guatemala for a photo op than to do what she is tasked to do, which is go to the border. She refuses to go. She lies about it. We've been to the border. They haven't been to the border. She went during the Trump administration. She's saying now she did. Now she's saying we're going to go to the border. She's all over the map. She's a mess. And I think this is demonstrating that she's not capable or equipped to be president.
Yeah, Chris, I think this is why she was trailing Elizabeth Warren and Andrew Yang in California. This is why she never made it to Iowa. She never made it to New Hampshire, and she never made it to any of the primaries. She had to drop out. It was something, whatever the quality is, because she was an attorney general, a U.S. senator. She's a very accomplished woman. But there is this quality, and it's exposed when she's asked questions that shouldn't be uncomfortable. And this should not be a question that she's not expecting. Why haven't you gone to the border? If she went to the border 3 months ago, no one would be saying anything about this.
That's what just amazes me. I mean, she's been in elective office for quite a lot of years now, and she just doesn't seem ready for prime time. You know, she's not going to the border because it's a bad photo op, but she's also not going to the border because she knows she has absolutely zero credibility on the border. During her ill-fated campaign, she was for free college education for illegals. She was for free Medicaid for illegals, and she was also for decriminalizing border crossings.
Right.
So with that type of record, what kind of credibility are you going to have down at the border telling people not to come? You know, when she went to Guatemala, one thing that the media is not focusing on is, yes, she did tell Guatemalans not to come to America, but she also didn't say, don't send your children to America. And we know that their policy is if you're a migrant child and you make it to the border, they're going to let you in. And as we all know, they're going to eventually reunite you with your parents.
I want to bring up, just while we're talking about the border, something that Greg Abbott, I don't know if this is bluster. Mark, take a listen to this soundbite. This is the governor of Texas speaking yesterday. I thought that he sounded pretty serious about this, but take a listen, then we'll get some reaction.
The ability to arrest will be enhanced by building border barriers. Some of these border barriers will be built immediately. Whenever anybody tries to modify, attempt, or get through any of these border barriers, that in itself is a crime for which they can be arrested. But on top of that, I will announce next week the plan for the state of Texas to begin building the border wall in the state of Texas.
Is that something, I mean, if that's a possibility, boy, why didn't we think of that 4 months ago?
You know, you can be a big 10th Amendment person, believe the states really are supreme over the federal government, but immigration, the courts have consistently ruled, is really a function of the federal government. So I think Greg Abbott is playing to the cheap seats here, because I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Is he, Mark? Amanda, do you agree? Because I think that Matthew McConaughey could be a candidate in the state of Texas. He's got to run for re-election, Greg Abbott. And this is something right now, after the worst crisis we've seen since Bill Clinton was president, this is something that a lot of people can get behind, I think. And actually, it helped Donald Trump get elected.
Absolutely. This is a huge issue for the Republican base. And so, you know, if someone's going to have a primary, they're going to certainly be focused on this issue. But look, he's doing all of us taxpayers a favor. We're spending $60 million a week to house unaccompanied migrant children at the border. So, you know, he's taking one for the team, I would say. And this is a huge populist message that he's sending, that we're going to do the job that the federal government won't. And especially after the elections this past Saturday in Texas, the mayoral races, that Republicans picked up seats in traditional Democrat strongholds in the Rio Grande Valley, he sees the opportunity to make this a huge platform for Republicans nationally in 2022.
Mark, response, if
I
you can
agree
do
with
it in 10 seconds.
I agree with everything you both said. This is a great populist issue, broad appeal. I'm just saying it's just not consistent with the Constitution. The federal government is in charge of this issue, and I don't think Governor Abbott can actually get this done.
All right, panel, we'll pick this back up right after the commercial break. Great conversation, as always.